Hi guys, just going to do a quick overview on airbrushing and how easy it really is. I know a lot of you are afraid of like cleaning and all the setup and everything. I know I used to be. I used to make sure I got everything together for airbrushing. So I had tons to airbrush in one hit to cut down all the cleaning time. So let's have a quick look over what we've got as equipment to start with. We have a Badger gravity feed brush. We also have a siphon style brush which feeds from a bottle. This is good for like PVA and stuff like that. A couple of bits of cleaning kit, a little blade for cleaning out the nozzle, some brushes, spanner that comes with it for putting it all together, your air line, a compressor with a moisture trap and pressure gauge. We have some paint, some primers and a red. I also have airbrush thinner. Even paints that say they're thinned still need thinning. And I have some media airbrush cleaner. Right, so let's get set up and see where we go from here. We've connected up the compressor and the airbrush. I should add a note to say I have added an inline moisture trap just before the brush. This actually really helps. They're only a few quid, so definitely worth the money. First of all, we'll test everything's up and running properly. So the pressure needs to be set to around 20 or just below. Main note is the thinner the paint, the lower the pressure. The thicker the paint, the higher the pressure. If the pressures go too high, then your paint's too thick because it'll just blow the paint off and probably take your figure with it. So the first thing we do is just compress the airbrush. The compressor starts, release, and it will come back up to pressure and stop. If it fires up again and starts pumping out air, it means there's an air leak, and just go around and tighten up. Right, let's move up to the table. Oh, one other thing I should tell you is the best note thing is keep the compressor on the floor. Even though they have rubber feet, they do tend to wander. The last thing you want is one falling off. Right, have our airbrush all set up. All we got to do now is get some paint in. So we're going to do some black primer. I'm going to black bomb these couple of tanks and go from there. So just add our black paint. Don't overfill it, so just not quite half. Then I'm going to add some thinners, just a couple of drips. One. Then get a brush, just give it a little mix. I'll wash that off here a minute. Right. I'll spray these off of camera so I don't paint the camera and get shot by the wife. Back in a minute. Right, I've done the black base coat. Now I just need to clean the brush out so you can see it's nice and mucky. So all I've got is a bowl of soap water with a couple of drops of soap in it. Grab your airbrush, dunk it, and blow it through. To start with. Give it a tip, a wipe. Then get a piece of non-lint cloth into the bowl. Scoop up some water and I'm going to back flush it. So I'm going to pinch the end with a piece of cloth and eventually it'll bubble up. And just to make sure it's completely clean, I'll get some clean water, fill the bowl, and just spray it through. And if I get a piece of cloth and spray, you see it's already getting water out, and you're ready to change colour. Or it's not clean for putting away, but it's clean enough to change colours and move on. Right, on to the next bit. Right guys, so I've got this one all painted up black. One of the great things with an airbrush is you can get some of your highlighting out the way early on. So what I'm going to do now is hit it with a coat of white at a 30 to 40 degree angle. This will pick up all the edges for highlighting when you put the main coat over the top. So I'll crack on with that and show you the results. Right guys, this one I've just gone over it in a white. I've let the paint be slightly powdery type look. This is all going to be coated over it in red and it should add to a nice effect hopefully at the end, fingers crossed. So I'll crack on with the red and we'll see what we come up with. Right guys, I've done all the red. I'll start cleaning the airbrush up and then I'll show you how the tanks have turned out in the end. Right, so at the moment the paint's like this. Give it a little rinse. Get the bowl and wipe. Put your airbrush in the bowl. Blow. Shake. Right, let me just get, sorry, reaching over the camera there. Get some clean water. Still a bit red in there. Some soapy water's not that clean anymore. Bit more. There's some more on that. There we go. Fill that up. Spray a little bit out. Get a cloth. Pinch the end. So it gets wet, that starts to bubble back through, cleans the needle off. Another white round. So at the moment, your bowl's quite clean, but your needle will need cleaning. So I'll disconnect this and we'll go through cleaning that up quickly. Okay. Right, now for the dreaded bit, the cleaning. So the first thing I'm going to do is undo it. This bit will be clean anyway, but you can always drop it in some cleaner if you want to. Right, we're going to unscrew the needle section. Should come out gently. Out, there's the needle. This airbrush comes in lots of little bits, unfortunately. So I get a glass and I will shove it in some airbrush cleaner, immediate airbrush cleaner. Drop them in anyway. These pieces have got slightly dark, but it doesn't really affect me, so it must have copper in it, so it's caused it to get slightly dark, but it's not an issue. Right, I can unscrew the rest of the housing. There's a bit of paint there that just come off. They come off in the cleaner anyway. Right, so I'm going to do that. And separate these bits out. Needle housing and your nozzle. Drop it all in. Like that. Fluid should just cover the bowl of the airbrush. You could just chuck that on the window and leave it 24 hours or so, wouldn't even matter if you left it longer. But as we haven't used it for very long, it's not very well baked on, so it should be fine. Just put a bit of media clean on the cloth, get the needle, get it clean. Bring it on camera for you. Very gentle. This is the last thing we're going to do, is bend your needle. That should be lovely and clean. There you go, I'll put that to one side, safe out of the way. Right. As we didn't use this for very long, I'll get some brushes. Nice soft, fairly soft bristle brushes. So we get the airbrush and we're going from this end. There we go, give that a little brush. And that's that pretty well clean, to be honest. Let's swirl around in some water. Wipe. If you've got any spots of paint on it, if you're doing it quick like this instead of letting it stand, just give it a wipe with the cleaner and it'll come off nicely. Right. Go through. That's that bit clean. These are pretty clean anyway, trigger and the little clip that goes behind it. Done. Into here. Here's a little, oh, there's my phone. There's the needle nozzle. So we'll give this a little clean. That's a nice little tool for doing this. To be honest, it's probably fairly clean already. Can pick up these quite cheap. It's a little tiny needle. And gently insert it. Don't push it, because otherwise you'll split the nozzle, and give it a little twist. And to be honest, that is coming out clean. This will get rid of any caked up paint in the jet. There you go. Put that to one side, give it a rinse of some water. Dab. Done. Right, now for the bit that will be a little bit caked. So you got your nozzle will always pick up a little bit. So you just get a brush. To be honest, if you left this sitting, it would clean out perfectly without even needing brushing. This won't come out perfect because it hasn't been left long enough. But that'll give you the idea. Bigger brush. A little bit. Right, put them out of the way, give it a rinse. Get this out of the way so I don't stub myself. Put that over there. Right, now I want to put it back together. So I highly recommend Super Lube. This sounds dubious, doesn't it? This is airbrush lube from Iwater. And this will last you donkey's years. So, first thing I do is just put a tiny, oh, that's a load, didn't need that much. So, I'd just put down the needle, like that. As I've got so much here, I will do the other bits as well. So onto the threads. And onto this thread here, that just makes it easy. Right, so I get this the right way around. That one goes in. Come on. Probably wise to work your fingers instead of being lubed up to do this. There you go. Right, now for the tricky bit. What I'm going to do is just put a little blob in there. See. That goes in. And put it in there, or you could actually put it into the trigger anyway, into the little gap in there. Trigger goes there. There's got a bit of mud picked up on there. On the cloth, there you go. That little nudge, very carefully ease the needle through, tighten up. It's nice and smooth. Put your end back on. Come on. see it's nice and clean, nice and smooth, even the nozzle's not too bad. As I said, if you want to really clean it, you just let it soak for a lot longer. And that's pretty much it, folks. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Right, take care and see you soon. Nearly forgot, you want to see what we actually did. There we go, if I give it a rotate. You can see got quite a bit of highlight work already done. Back's nice and dark. Next stage for me would be go over this with a dry brush to pick out some of the details, and then start doing all the detailing with normal brushwork. And probably within half an hour I've done 6 different tanks up to this stage. So airbrushing does make things a lot quicker. Right, cheers!